find myself on Twitch.
Oh yeah, I also have to
Gonna
find you on.
sing my way to. Seriously? An update's available? No. I was literally on Twitch app earlier and there was no update available. Why?
Yeah, what I
Sounds
want to
good.
do is get like the Phoenix Wright turnabout themes. Pick ones from each game that fit your characters, and if you do something cool, I can just trigger it.
All right. I see
All
we are
right,
live.
I found it.
So my
Indeed, we are
optimization
live.
must have worked.
Your SEO.
You guys wanna you're gonna want to go to Instagram to see my marketing post for this stream. It is hilarious to me. It may not be to you, but it's hilarious to me. Well, hey guys, everyone on Twitch. It's I'm gonna do professional. I'm a professional streamer. This is Craig Shore. You know me as Poo2.
Ow. Saying the
Yes.
full name.
I
Look how
know.
you're dressed too, Bucka.
Last
Who
name?
is this guy? Yes, so you're watching the Poo2 stream. I'm here with the Poo2 crew. I want to welcome you if you're listening to this now or you're listening to this later. Thank you so much. We appreciate all the views we get. Just a reminder to hit that follow button. And also you can find us on any of the social medias. Just search Poo2 on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or our Discord server, and you can find us on any of those. We would love any sort of likes, comments, subscribes, or even chats. We just love to hear from you. So thank you. I'm going to make just 2 quick announcements, and then we'll roll into our Monday night D&D streams. So first off, we are about to start our the Unbeaten Path, who PS Zombie has led us through a wonderful escapades and adventures through this campaign. He's done a phenomenal job with that. And if you want to relive these moments, you can see the most recent ones on Twitch, or you can go to our YouTube channel where all of our great adventures are documented in a playlist by order that you can go through and listen to relive all those adventures or get caught up if you're just now joining us. So you can start with for example, how Beta Bros became our name, or that one time a couple of the group had a burning desire to deliver a message. You can relive all these great moments from our campaign and more by just going to our YouTube page. So that's one announcement. The other announcement is we're going to start this Sunday, a new campaign that is a level 20, which if you know Dungeons & Dragons, you know that is ridiculous. But we're going to do it, and we're going to set it in the Pacific Rim universe. And the name of the campaign is Kaiju Slayer. And we will have some players, and they will be level 20. I will be being the DM on this campaign. PS Zombie is actually going to be the player, so the two of us are going to be switching roles for Sunday nights, and we'll have 2 new players that we will introduce to you on Sunday. So please look out for that. That'll be at our same time, 8 o'clock Central, but it will just be on Sunday, and we'll be adding those for a couple weeks. You'll have 2 sessions of Dungeons & Dragons to listen to. So we're getting that content out for you. And then I think I'm done with announcements. I'm going to kick it over to PS Zombie the Poo2 crew. How is everybody?
Doing great.
Good.
Well,
Doing great.
Battle Armor Climate Changers doing great. PS Zombie, are you ready to get this show on the road with more adventures of the Unbeaten Path?
Let's get going.
Sweet.
But are we even on the Unbeaten Path? Not currently.
Whoa.
No, indeed.
Yeah, as far as recap goes, our heroes, our adventurers, began to head down the path, which they had previously been heading up the path. And in their very first room, they were consumed by a godlike serpent who is entirely apart from the path. Initially finding themselves in his mouth and now in his belly, they need to find their way back to the path, because unlike on the path, if you die in Ouroboros, the eternal worm, you die for real. So They fought a few sort of naturalish defenses of this being, and now find themselves in its stomach, devoid of maybe actively attacking things, but still full of pools of acid, as they seek an exit to this being. So yeah, we'll just do quick character introductions. We can start with battle armor, per usual.
Yep. I'm Battle Armor. I'm playing Karos Fester. I am an Avarial Armorer Artificer. And I'm currently joined by my companion, a Steel Defender, who is a mechanical Black Panther. Right? Black Panther? Am I right?
Right. Yep.
Cool. And yeah, so I'm a very inquisitive guy who is really curious about the path, and now this giant worm as well. Yeah, I'm making my way down the path, walking fast, fast, homebound.
And then the Terry Crews of our group.
That's right.
Who
In what way? Sorry.
largeness.
Yes.
I mean,
my physique.
we all have bad strength. That's one of the main things about us.
But he is taller than y'all.
He is taller. It's true.
Yes, he's super emaciated for a Minotaur, so that's still way buffered than any human who's ever lived.
I just look strong. That it's kind of like Putu in real life. You just got to look the part. You don't actually have to be the part. So I am playing a Mubis Calfin, a Minotaur, like what was mentioned, and I am playing mechanically Grave Domain Cleric. So that's a little bit about me. I have a companion named Dalio, who is a beast of the land mechanically. Is that correct?
Correct.
Ah, nice. I listen. So he is. Me and him are doing pretty well, actually. I let him participate in the battle last session. So
I think if you have to say that, you're not doing
you're not doing good.
I feel like that's common.
Notice how I did
you have to say you're putting along with a mechanic of your character.
I feel like this is going to.
Me and my spiritual weapon are doing pretty good.
I'm messing. Continue. Sorry.
I feel like the DM's gonna cause some hostility now to appear suddenly off screen.
No, y'all are showing.
So, but that's a little bit about me.
And then the Adrian Pimento of our group,
just Brooklyn Nine-Nine all the way.
This is climate change. You're playing Alibaba, the Tiefling.
Teeth.
Like teeth. Okay. I always get a little.
You made him sound like a
weird about that word.
Disease. Tiefling.
That could be really useful in your current scenario. We just give the worm Tiefling, and then he eases us out.
All right, and the warlock with the genie patron, who is sporting the best companion of the group, the flying flaming tiger, Kipling, who always participates.
You're really dropping the mic there.
Mic drop.
Kipling.
Well, sweet. So we jump in.
That's right.
We jump in. Our DM already having insulted all of the characters, I think.
DM assault alert.
I think I'll form a checklist to make sure I cover all bases.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all cleared out some gelatinous cubes from this stomach, and some oozes from a previous part.
Gross.
But yes, you are in the stomach of this beast where there are acid pools. You're fairly small comparative to this being, so You have not induced indigestion
Okay.
yet, but you do find yourself in this stomach that does not have immediately evident exits per se. You have a vague idea of where, at least Nurungwe implied you ought to go. Of course, you know him to be eventually antagonistic towards you, so you're under no obligation to follow his advice.
I know when I have something I don't regret eating, I take some medicine or herbs to relax my stomach. So maybe we need to relax this room. I gotta look around.
Does anyone have any herbs?
I'm under
I'm not certain we would have. I'm not certain we'd have the quantity of herbs needed. Unless you're proposing some form of what's that medical thing where you like, gosh, out of character. What's that medical thing where you like put one part of a substance in water and then dilute it?
Homeopathy?
Yeah, something like that. Unless you're suggesting that, and we just have a very, very small amount in a tincture.
I'm looking for a way out.
We did notice those folds last time.
Yeah, so as you look around, the most thing worthy of note is you can see the walls of this stomach don't appear like the walls of the mouth area where you were. They do appear thinner and more wrinkled. So if you want to examine them, you can do like a medicine check. Or a nature check, I'll say, because it's not, it's not a humanoid being.
I'll do a medicine check on the wrinkles.
Yeah. Anyone who wants to can do that.
Oh.
Does anyone here even know about medicine or nature?
Medicine
or nature?
I do.
Well, I'm very smart, but
I
don't
dislike
specifically
the
know about either of
insides
those.
of things, though.
Yeah. So you go ahead and move your character to one of the walls.
Okay.
If you're going to be examining them, or you can just stand in the middle and try to do a medical examination from a great distance.
The
I'll be
long
back.
distance exam.
I'll be back, Dalio. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah. So you, Amoobus, you're kind of looking around and you're not seeing too much of interest, but Karos manages.
It's funny also because you literally aren't at one of the cracks. I
In a
feel like
good
that's
spot.
in character. Can't find one of them.
They, as you kind of feel along this membrane of the stomach, you start to hear a hum near this area where you are, and you can feel warmth that is much warmer than this. The area you're in is it's pretty room temperature, but it burns your eyes a little bit because all of the acid around, and it's extremely humid. But you can feel like a comforting warmth coming from this side of the wall.
I guess might be something. I'm gonna try to see if I can't squeeze through a little bit. See if it starts to hurt even a little bit, I'm gonna back it out. But I'm gonna just like try to punch my way in there.
So yeah, you can kind of wedge yourself in the fold, but you find it to be pretty much sealed. But it is, I mean, it feels like a tarp or a bed sheet. It's particularly thin membrane.
So like, bust on through.
You can certainly try.
Bust.
I'm gonna get Raynor because she can use more of a slashing motion than just me punching it. I know it's still force damage, so like it's neither here nor there. But I'm gonna have her strike laser claw with a
Let's
natural
say
20.
she's pokey. Wow.
Oh, she pokes.
I wish
Laser
I could just auto trigger that wow meme noise that's like wow. Yeah, exactly. I need to make a button.
Yeah, we all need to get our own little like
meme buttons.
yeah, exactly for
Wow.
our
Air
preferred
horn. Wow.
Yeah.
Um.
Exactly.
That worked.
Joel on deck.
That was awesome.
The name of that was Wow.
I
In this
like
house,
it.
it was supposed to say Wow.
I liked it.
I hit on the
The
stream
vibe was
am
off.
always looking for these little alert noises. I really like that one. I want to send me the link to that. I just want
Or-
damn, son, damn
Stonks is a good one.
to be playing.
Yeah, so she pretty easily manages to cut through the membrane here, and you can see that there's a little bit of like squishiness membrane, and then it does eventually lead into another thin wall, similar to the one that she burst through on the stomach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Just head through. Can I?
Maybe this will work, eh? Maybe stab it with that sleep dagger. See if it goes to sleep.
That's a good
It's
idea.
entirely possible. I mean, if this giant monster has fewer than the amount of HP that you're going to roll, I mean, would fall asleep
Sure.
certainly. I'm not certain the giant monster that we're inside of being asleep would help us all that much, but
I'm out of ideas. I'm
So-
going to start
so-
shooting things.
say again what was beyond this wall?
Yeah, so like you cut through membrane, and then there was kind of like wet and squishy bits for maybe 10 feet or so, and then a second membrane inside. And the warmth now is like quite intense to much harder than room temperature. Not hurty,
Not a harmful
but
degree.
quite warm.
Well, then I say we just. I mean, this is our best lead so far. I say we just keep heading towards it, unless we want to find one of the other cracks that is maybe a bit less warm. But I think warmth is probably better. That means we're getting towards, I don't know, something that's producing an amount of heat, which is probably some form of respiratory or maybe the heart or something like that. Something that requires the heat.
I seem to remember a tale when I was young of a young man named Link, and he went into a giant fish they called the Jabba Jabba, and in this Jabba Jabba, they would hurt the beast, and the beast would react, and the terrain would change. So I guess what he's trying to say is, did we notice any sort of reaction when that happened? Like when Rainier like pierced the membrane. Was there any trembling, or was there any sort of reaction from the terrain?
There wasn't,
Okay.
but that's not especially noticeable, as based on the areas you've been in, you estimate this being is maybe,
Huge.
I don't know, the size of a city.
Okay.
Like a sort of, I don't know, 5-foot hole cut in it would not be notable. You probably have little millimeter scratches in you all the time that you don't even notice.
Okay. Never mind. Press onward. It's our, as you said.
Onward, Christian soldiers.
Yes. Or onward to Uptown soldiers. As you said, Karos, it's our only option. So. Anubis is really just kind of grossed out by he's been grossed out this whole time being inside a body, so that is actively alive. So he is trying to like encourage the both of you to go.
Do all the squishy bits. Yeah,
Yeah, he's like,
I'll have Rainier sort of
clear the
go
way.
through it. God, it's Rainer every time. It's
I mean, it doesn't. I've never heard it said out loud, so it's as easily Rainier as it is Rain.
I do not.
It
think
looks
is
like
properly
Rainer to me,
Rainer. No, I fully agree that it is Rainer. I just live in Seattle, and so I'm used to saying Rainier.
but is there like a street named that or something?
There's a mountain. There's a very large and famous mountain, and also
Oh yeah, Mount Rainier. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, and then also like
It's
the
raining all the time.
good beer brand, like the PBR of the Pacific Northwest is also called Rainier. So like be like, oh, grab me a Rainier, stuff like that.
Well, it can be a cool nod to IRL.
But yes, Rainer is going to just keep trying to cut through these membranes. You know, take a couple of swipes and see if we can't get to something approaching. I don't know, something approaching something that is not where we are currently.
Yeah, you can go ahead and do another attack if you like. It's
So we're like carving our way through
especially
this thing.
relevant. Correct. Well, through its thin bits. The parts in the
Okay.
mouth area where you were before, or the parts you were standing on, it is still organic, but it's incredibly thick and stone-like, almost like rhino skin. I mean, you haven't tested it, but it feels extremely firm.
Okay.
And this part is like I say, like a bed sheet or a tarp. It's particularly thin.
Actually, out of curiosity, and because it was mentioned one time last time, I think I did make an alchemist kit. Can I just go ahead and make make a little check on the stomach acid just to make sure it's like on the up and up and nothing in particular with my alchemist kit.
Yeah, you can just do int plus proficiency.
All right, I'll just roll Arcana because I think that's the same.
Yeah,
But-
whatever. That's certainly acceptable. Yeah, it is. It's acid, like the type of acid that people might use in an acid flask or whatever. And you do have many files with you, so should you choose to collect some, you could. But it would do 2d6 acid damage were you to make contact with it. But you certainly have the means within your alchemist kit to collect it without harming yourself.
I will take I will say 3 vials of acid.
Sure. And you can just add those to your character sheet. I believe it's in Roll20's compendium. Let's see why it wouldn't be.
I have just added it as a unique item because it's fine.
Sure. But yes, if you feel you have use for it, you can have acid that does 2d6 acid damage.
I'm sure I'll be able to find some use for it. But yeah, so we're just gonna plow through as far as we can, basically until we hear stop.
Yeah. Well, with this second membrane you cut through, you can see it's a tunnel. I mean, I could just take you there if you want.
Yeah.
Unless you're confident you don't want to get through it.
No, I am confident that I would like to go through it.
All right. Well, you find yourself in a. It's on a grander scale, but you figure some sort of artery where lava-like blood is flowing at a pretty good pace. It's flowing sort of to the north in this image. And it's a tubular tunnel that it has enough room to walk, but it's a large flow of essentially lava, but it is this creature's blood.
Alibaba wants to look for some like inner tube shaped things floating down that he could, maybe something like a blood cell.
Right.
Well, I think our first order of business is probably to determine, if which direction this is flowing towards or away from the heart. Because if we go to the heart, I'm sure we can find a pathway to anywhere inside of the monster, but I don't think we want to head to any random place that, if this is a artery, we should head towards where it's flowing from, and if it's a vein, we should head towards where it's flowing to.
Yeah, so if you want to get a lay of the land, you can do perception. If you want to kind of infer about the area you're in, I'll take a medicine or nature.
I'm going to try to determine if this is properly a vein or an artery.
All right.
I do not know my own self how I would do that, but hey, now this is a game.
That's what it checks
Yeah,
for.
Star. Amubis shows up a little bit after you guys have been talking, and just kind of pushes through the membrane. It's like, and then I kind of pop through, and I'm like, oh, now this room's just more terrible than the last.
Pretend it's a volcano, not a giant worm. Amubis.
Sure.
It might make you feel better. Just sit down and do some visualization.
How guide me?
Yes. Don't think about it being an eternal worm that just ate a piece of the maze that you worship.
Yes, I will not do that. And is there any way I can hide in your lamp? And I look at Alibaba.
Not for a while, sadly.
Not at this level.
Gotta level up.
I'm going to have to grow leaps and bounds before I can do that key thing that I chose this character for.
Hey, you can go in it.
You could always hide.
But yeah, as you look at it, there's kind of not a great way to orient yourself. The flow is consistent to like the north of this image, but as far as what direction that's going in particular, you cannot quite infer. But if you want to, like I said, if you want to just get a lay of the land, you can do a perception check. Anyone can do this. Perception check, or you can always try medicine.
Let me see.
See if we can.
I think there might be some intertubes.
Figure things out. Right, and inner tubes. Having a look.
Yes, of course, we are all looking.
I want to do a medicine.
All right, go right ahead.
Oh, jeez. Still gross.
You have a good bonus too. You're just.
And maybe, look for some magic too, a little bit. It's too hot in here for that.
You're so confident there's no magic. Yeah, so as you look around, you don't see anything floating down. You gather with this consistent of flow, if there was anything that was floating, it would have made it to wherever it was going by now. There are sort of stationary bits, which are just kind of, cholesterol or whatever it might be, in the vein. But one thing you do notice as you look around is in the south part of this image, I'm just going to say vein. That doesn't necessarily mean vein. But the vein you're in begins to narrow, and as it goes north, it begins to widen.
Wait, say that one more time. The north, it begins to widen, and south narrow?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, so it keeps getting smaller and smaller as it goes down, and larger and larger as it goes up. And you've hit, like I say, a fairly thick area of it, but it does widen a bit as it goes up.
Is this room moving at all? What is sort of the animation of this room?
Just the fluid, the lava blood, is flowing upwards.
Okay.
Okay, just to clarify, it is lava.
It's
none of you have
acid
messed
blood,
with it.
I believe.
Do you want to try to touch
I'm
it?
gonna try to touch it.
All right.
It won't hurt me. I'm pretty good at this kind of thing.
Well, it will hurt you slightly less than the average person.
You
but-
have a fire companion. Wouldn't that be easier to touch the paw? Never mind.
He's more into attacking things,
I understand. Oh, don't I know it? I turned to Dario and give him a wink. What does he do? Does he hate me? He probably hates me, doesn't he?
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
he's pretty
same.
chill.
Okay.
He's just kind of pacing back and forth. He doesn't pay much attention to what's going on if it's not fighting. He doesn't care about the lore or puzzle solving aspects of D&D. He's just here for the combat. He's on his phone right now.
Just here so he doesn't get fined.
Crazy, you get reception down here.
Do I need
Alright.
to roll to see if it's lava?
I mean, if you just have to touch it, you're gonna find out real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna put something else in there. I'm gonna
Sure.
what do I have in my pouch? I'm gonna put a little bag of sand into the
Does it make
blood just to see if it survives or not. I'm gonna kind of dip it in there and pull it out.
Yeah, the bag's mildly on fire.
Okay. Okay.
You can put it out, but it has a hole in it now. So you probably lost a bit of the sand.
I'm losing some sand in my. I just put it back in my satchel. Just ignore the hole.
Yeah.
We'll see where that sand goes.
So the contents of your satchel may be getting a little bit sandy. But, that's kind of your character flavor anyways, so no big.
Yeah, I have sand everywhere anyway. What do you think we can do here, my friends? Surrounded by lava. It's just
Well, I think there's probably a couple of reasonable ways to get across towards the main thoroughfare, and then I think we do head one of the two directions, but it's difficult to determine which. I'm more inclined to head towards an open space rather than a narrower one, but that's personal preference. I don't know if that makes sense for. Again, I'm not actually very good at medicine or the body. I have a +2 bonus to medicine, but I know some logical things. Wide open areas are more comfortable for me. Not much of one for being confined due to living in a wide open sky based society for most of my life.
Do you think you could jump across?
Me? Probably yes. I might be able to.
To get to that separate center platform, it's a sub 10-foot gap. So basically, if your character can jump 10 feet, you can easily make it. And if you can't, I'll take an athletics check to see if you can make it.
I think with a what's the rules for jumping again, DM?
Let's see.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
That's something to do with the strength score.
It's
Yeah.
like
It's a
2
multiple
for
strength
for
score.
every one of your.
A number of feet up to your strength score if you move at least 10 foot. So if you get a running start, you can move up to your strength score.
So if y'all have at least 10 strength,
Oh,
you can
great.
make it. And if you don't, you can give me an athletics check to try to make it.
Oh my goodness.
Who needs help here? And
Kipling can just fly across. He's levitating.
I don't think. I think I might make it almost there and then fall in right at the last moment.
Here's the thing. I could levitate you. Would you like to be levitated?
I have assistance, and I pull out of my pocket the ring of jumping.
Correct.
Ah.
The ahs.
I'm perfectly fine. So I do think Alibaba's probably the one who needs help. So
Yeah.
As am I. I'm
Well,
a
that would
large being. with
Triple
heavy
your
arms.
jump.
well, don't overshoot it. Is one thing I will say.
Wow,
I'll say you can control your jumps.
it's a pretty good item.
You got plenty of strength to move us.
Okay, so I give it.
Can I borrow that?
Yes. Thank
Thank you.
I move it close.
I believe all the pets also
And,
have adequate strength.
I
Yeah.
hand it over to Alibaba and stare at him a minute when I'm giving it over. For a friend that will always be here for you and never leave you. I am here for you, Alibaba.
Okay.
So emotional.
I feel
The metagaming guilt trip
strange guilt.
is the Amoebus classic, we'll call it.
Well, I'm going to leave you now, and he jumps across.
Yeah, with triple your jump distance, you can easily make it.
I feel so wonderful.
All right,
Yeah, in combat, that's a bonus action to use, but we'll just assume you used it.
All right, do I have to do any sort of check? I have a score.
No,
Okay.
you have that strength score that you can just make it.
Dalio.
You can just fly across. Dalio has plenty of
There's
strength.
probably things over here to fight.
Yeah, they're also all cat-based, so I assume they have better jumping abilities than the average person, even though it's not mechanically,
Bless you.
it's not mechanically listed. But I'm
jumping.
sure a lion can leap pretty good. From what I know, they can leap 20 feet in real life, and this is some sort of sun god lion. So,
But he's on his cell phone.
He's distracted.
yeah, I don't know if that
Don't
really
jump
affects
distracted,
jump distance,
guys.
but
Well, I'll say that are any of you proficient in medicine? Amoebus, you are, right?
Yes. Well, no, I'm not proficient. I just have a good score.
you're not proficient. Interesting.
I know. Because I mean,
Well-
most things I deal with is dead already, so I don't really need to heal.
I'd say you can infer stuff if you're proficient in nature or medicine.
I don't think anyone is.
Not.
Oh, I'm proficient. No, I'm not proficient in nature.
No
Dang it.
nature at all, but medicine I can try. I'm not proficient. But
I mean, you can try. You have new info thanks to Alibaba having scoped out the land a
gosh,
little
dang,
bit.
that is 4 botched medicine rolls. That's ridiculous.
Get all the bad rolls out of the way, man.
I guess
before
so.
combat.
Maybe we should just walk in a direction and see what happens.
Can I pray to
which one?
Uptow? I'm gonna do a prayer.
You can do anything you like.
Okay. When all else fails.
Wow.
Your rolls do too.
I mean, to be perfectly fair, we have a 50-50 shot of going in a direction that we want to, and the other direction will be towards, I don't know, something at least, that is nearer towards the outside of the worm. So there's always a chance that this is on the respiratory tract or something.
Cross, you like open spaces. The trail that way opens up. Let's go that way.
Sounds good to me.
We go north. Start heading north.
Yeah. So as you continue heading north, the tunnel does widen, and as you continue, you can see that there is a valve, but it opens largely enough and regularly enough that it's fairly easy to pass through, should you choose to.
Yes. I
Sounds
look
good.
at my companions and nod.
Swell. Well, then, as you pass through, you find yourself in the heart of the beast.
Oh, good.
Yes. It turns out the source of the blood is the
this
larger
was
tunnel,
an artery.
and as it disperses, they get smaller.
That makes sense. Got offshoots that are smaller.
Yeah, so you enter through the right ventricle, which is, I believe you're in an artery then?
Yes, that is.
Ventricle, shout out to all the
Wow.
doctors in there.
Both in game and IRL, I know relatively little about the human body.
You know what?
Relatively little about the human
Yes.
body.
Well-
Like,
Well, but you do know a bit about hydraulics and robotics. Not
It's
so
true.
dissimilar.
I know how to disperse whatever magical fluid is currently, cooling my suit and stuff throughout my suit.
Mm-hmm.
What is funny
I
is
assume there's
that
fluid involved.
this whole time we're inside doing biology stuff, Putu Mom is actually giving us doctor advice. Have you
Real
guys
actual
noticed that?
doctor advice. We just weren't looking.
In the
Ah.
chat. Just lots of doctor advice the whole time. So shout out to
That's very
Putu
funny.
Bob with your
Well,
actual
now I'm
medical
intimidated
knowledge.
because I'm just making stuff up.
It's
I
fine,
have
it's
taken
fine.
a couple of biology
Oh yeah, we
courses.
proton
Because
That
pump.
doesn't mean I know anything.
This is
Blood's,
not real.
blood's lava, right? Like,
Yeah.
we dunked on homeopathic medicine, so I'm sure she'll appreciate that. As I assume an allopathic doctor.
Bless you.
That wasn't even me.
Oh. Bless whoever.
Might have been Ouroboros.
Ooh.
Well, then we'd be out there.
That
Oh,
would
my
not be
heart.
ideal
Achoo.
because you don't want him to sneeze until you're in the respiratory system. Yeah, so you find yourself in the heart now of Ouroboros, which it is a much larger room than the artery you previously found yourself in, and well, there's many a thing in here.
Are we approaching where this kind of red
Alibaba is very excited.
You're
Do
already on the
perception.
map.
Where are we on the map? Oh,
Top
I
left.
see. Okay. Didn't have my thing moved over.
Top right.
Oh yeah, top right.
Oh.
Yeah, so as you look around, you can see red, yellow, and blue things. They appear to be on elevated platforms. That's about it.
What is that creature thing in the distance?
There is something laying prone in the distance. You can't tell what it is because it's far away and lying down.
Where are we coming from? Oh, am I? No,
Top right.
I'm not fully zoomed out. There we go.
Are these
Yes, it's a large map, sorry.
colored things? Can I take a look at those?
I'll give it a quick perception.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, so you can see these are actively glowing. They're not dissimilar. The picture's not perfectly accurate. They are connected to the flesh of this beast, but they're similar to the like uvula type protrusions you found in the initial room you were in. They are sticking up out of the ground, but they are actively glowing yellow, blue, and red.
But that's not dissimilar to us.
Yes. Methinks this has to do with us positioning ourselves around the room. Do we
Which
see?
again, I do say is odd, as we've been warned multiple times that this worm is not, in fact, the path.
And you, and with a good perception check, you can see that whatever's lying prone near the blue glowy thing, it's made of metal.
Oh,
it is not organic.
A kindred spirit, a metal blue person.
A blue ranger.
Is it a blood clot?
Well, let's try to get over to the next up, sort
It's a
of,
pacemaker.
and see if we can't investigate some of these large stones, or perhaps that metal beast over there.
Should we travel as a group, Karas? Because have you told us about that creature over there?
It is mentioned that it was metal, and
Okay.
just sort of pointed generally to it.
Okay.
We should almost always travel as a group.
I was about to say that could be a hostile force rather than getting a position around the room.
I tend to trust them implicitly immediately. But yes, let's move together. What would be our path to victory here about getting upward?
Okay, so the item on the yellow platform here is pretty picture accurate. It is a slanted backwards elevated platform, so there's sans like levitating, flying, jumping extremely high. There's not going to be a good way to get up on that. But if you take here, y'all can kind of see my stuff, right? Like sort of this platform here, you know, this way. These are more gradual, like going across and towards the red one is a more gradual step up that you feel like you could potentially climb.
Yeah, and then we would go horizontal from there. Yeah, that's
yeah, you could traverse from there.
Yeah.
Even on that and that outcropping left of the white part could potentially jump across to get to the blue part.
Sounds good. Yes, having identified this this path, gonna go ahead and tread it. Start jumping across here and such.
Yeah.
gonna give it a try.
Yeah, for sure. And it's things are warm in here, but like more like a hot day, not like intolerably warm. Like I would say 100 degrees Fahrenheit or so. Like so considerably hot. Like you couldn't spend the rest of your life here. But
98.6.
yeah, perfect body temperature.
That's good.
Biology.
It's a warm blooded snake worm. I don't know. I have no idea the biology of worms. Maybe Future Mom has a better idea than me.
I was just talking. I'm for Twitch. I'm running Tomb of the Annihilation again. Tomb of Annihilation again. And I mentioned in the first time that I ran it that Dinosaur was pregnant, and I was clowning on myself for that earlier because I was like, can't happen, not a thing.
None of us noticed or cared.
Maybe magical dinosaurs can, and maybe a magical worm is warm blooded. Get off our.
Also,
get off our butts.
it's like air quotes dinosaur. This is like the Forgotten Realms. Who the heck knows what a dinosaur is? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe D&D dinosaurs definitely do get pregnant.
Maybe.
Exactly. I mean, they don't have feathers or anything like that. Like they're not accurate.
I mean, and also, like, isn't there a certain amount of time when like an egg-laying animal has a fertilized egg in it before it lays it? They don't get fertilized once they're out of the body, right?
Yeah. No, because
Unless they're like a fish or something.
Shout out to all the veterinarians.
I think any land
or farmers like Putu's family.
That's right.
But I don't think they farm reptiles. I can't be sure.
Well, chickens are basically reptiles.
No, they're not.
They're basically.
They act like reptiles.
They're super similar.
I mean, think about it. They're basically reptiles. Like,
yeah, they have scales. Yeah, so the first thingamajob you would come across is the red one if you choose to go up there. So if you're heading directly towards the blue, you'd go over here to this outcropping and hop across.
Quick interrupt for Twitch things, Craigo. It seems like the stream is lagging a lot. Getting a lot of refreshes and stuff like that. I don't know if you've changed anything on your end, but it looks like both.
Yeah, I was
a little
getting
bit of an issue here.
I was getting some encoder errors here. Unfortunately, I can't do it midstream to adjust it. But what's crazy is this is the same settings I've had every week, and it's been fine. So I don't understand.
Yeah.
You're not trying to use those 3D dice again, are you?
No. No,
I'm trying to screw us over with your 3D dice.
No, I'm
For your
not
video
trying
right
to
now.
be fancy. It's literally the
Are
same.
you downloading the game in the background?
No.
I mean, is it
Hmm.
is it a huge problem to drop and come back up? Because right now it's still on the old map, right? The stream.
No, I have it on.
It's
the
not
new
even
one.
switched to the heart yet, right?
I have it on the hard.
Oh, maybe my-
OBS.
Maybe
It's still on the artery for me too. But
Yeah, I see the artery.
wow.
But I have
Wow.
no drop frames either, though. So that's the weird part. Like, I guess it's just bogging down. So I don't know what the H is going on.
Well, it looks like on the stream it is playing
The stream-
correctly just from a while ago. So I'm not entirely certain. We can leave it for now. And,
It just have a really long delay.
yeah, it's just a long delay. So we can leave it for now. See if maybe things will improve.
Well, we just won't link any references to the actual time it is IRL.
Yes, exactly.
Because
We will not say that it is exactly 6:50 currently.
Well, now you said it.
And or 8:50.
and or 8:50. That's fair.
Okay, so what are y'all doing? Are you heading up to red? Are you heading over to blue?
Yeah, let's head to red first, just so that we can know what these crystals are before we go introducing more variables into it. I'm gonna give it Phoenix Wright Investigato.
As you kind of like walk around it, give it a little look over. It is, it's fairly elevated. It is, I would say, let's see, maybe like 4 foot above the ground, with like the main mass of it being hovering, coming down to like a kind of taper and then connecting to the floor. It's almost like there's a mass that's been lifted up, but is still tethered via a membrane to the floor. It is actively glowing, and the glow is kind of like when you put a flashlight behind your hand, like there's something glowing inside with a skin over it. But
Looking inside, do I see anything in particular? Like, if I really try to look into it, am I going to see anything that's producing that light?
No, it's just a glowy. It seems to be like a stone shape, like irregularly round, kind of thing.
Well, I'm somewhat inclined
You're
to
not,
touch it, but I'm also somewhat inclined to not touch it.
yeah, you're not sure as of right now if that matches the other ones, if that's unique to this one, and then from this elevated position, you can also see that there is a non-protruding white sort of. It's almost like a pool in the center platform there. The others you could see because they were sticking up. This one's not sticking up. It's set on the ground.
What do you all think? Touch it? Don't touch it? Give it a wide berth?
Give it
Look
a
at
wide
the other ones.
berth for
See what
now.
happens.
We'll continue on to the others. My guess is that we need to interact with these each by ourselves, so touching it now might trigger something before we need it to
Something
be
unfavorable.
triggered.
Yes.
Possibly.
Yeah, in the stomach, we had to do it all at the same time, so maybe something similar here.
Well, this one is a little bit too far to jump, though, isn't it? So I'm not certain how we'd all.
Not if you have a jump ring.
Yes, not if you have a jump ring.
Do you want the jump ring back?
Well, I'm blue.
Eventually.
Amubis, you're yellow, correct? And Alibaba, you're red.
I am.
Yes.
So I have a means to levitate myself across. Amubis could have the jump ring, and we could all sort of get ourselves into position. That's not an issue. What I'm worried about is potentially, marooning Alibaba over here if we have to fight something. But honestly, I think probably Alibaba being this far away is maybe the best thing for him. He's,
He does have good spells that can
excellent range.
shoot.
I'm not worried about that.
Well, I'm gonna say for ease here, and I can't tell if it was supposed to be this way, but this is kind of how it was in my mind. That this section of this platform is low, and this section's high. So this is actually only like a 5-foot step up from here. So you can climb like down from here onto here, and then up to here with ease, without need of like massive strength. So it's like you walk around from here down to this area, which is then a ramp up to here, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that sounds good. So we can all at least get to the middle, and then.
Well, I think I'll stay here.
Goodbye.
By the red thing.
Also, just
I will
quickly,
need my ring
Tristan's
back,
also
though.
echoing on stream. I don't exactly know.
I'm echoing?
Yeah.
What ring? What are you talking about?
Let me think.
Oh,
you don't sound like it on here though, so I think it's more of a Craig thing.
He gives you back the ring.
Am I possibly being heard, Craig, somehow by your mic?
Nope. Shouldn't be. You, let me double check.
Yeah. Craig sounds good. I think I sound good. It's just zombie for some reason.
It's kind of odd. I'm trying to think what would.
Well, I did
So,
notice your
like-
mic kind of went out for like a second, like it was sounded like you stepped away from it. So I don't know if that.
I did not.
Sorry to be maintaining stream stuff midstream, but
Yeah, everything looks
we
good on
we
my
just don't want it
end.
to be sounding awful for future recordings and stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe we can leave it for now and just apologize that maybe Tristan sounds kind of weird.
I reconnected. Hopefully, that solves it.
The problem is we can't do much live like tinkering because we're on a pretty monstrous delay here.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Anyway, moving
Well,
on.
why is there a delay at all, really?
Probably all the buffering.
Yeah, maybe so.
Mm.
You also might want to zoom out the stream a little bit to show more of the hard area. I know I made the map particularly big, but
That's already been
I
done.
don't know. I got hard on for big map.
That's
So
already been
have
done. It's the
A
delay.
heart on.
sounds good.
Nice.
All right. Well, hopefully whatever I did solved it. If not, I'm terribly sorry. We'll try to figure it out in the future.
In the future.
Such a vast
Um,
room.
Yes.
Yes, well, let's make it to the middle and investigate this pool.
Sure. So it is it is almost like a cover. It looks like where a cover once was, but it is definitely open. And there is a kind of shiny, almost greasy fluid inside it.
Gonna maybe try to use Alchemist Kit on this fluid.
Sure.
Rolling Arcana again, which is just my
Sounds good.
my tool for a 20.
Yeah, so as you kind of examine this fluid, and I'll even I think it's even practical to combine your alchemist kit with Arcana to determine that this is some sort of natural enzyme produced by the by Ouroboros, but it serves a similar function to the enlarge reduce spell.
Oh, interesting. So it can enlarge things or reduce things?
Correct.
Is there any way to control which one's doing?
Just like in the spell, you would choose.
Just choose one. Cool. It's like a potion, kind of?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Wow, this is quite interesting.
Yeah. What can we do with this?
Well, we could certainly. This is one idea is to either
Trinket.
enlarge our beasts and ride on them, which is just for good fun. Or we could
Never-ending
I
story.
don't know, reduce something, perhaps the stones. I'm not entirely certain if
Could
Raynor can imbibe a potion, but I can pour it on her, I'm sure.
Could we reduce ourselves?
Yes, and
Hmm.
follow
How
that up
small could we go?
to it would shrink us by about half. So you would be like 3 feet, 2.5
Honey, I
feet tall.
shrunk the party.
Never mind.
It's not
Let's-
huge. I imagine it would probably be more advantageous to make something bigger so that we can get across. Maybe.
So we make the jump ring big, like a hula hoop.
Well, I was thinking we could
Put it
make
around
one of
your
our-
waist.
Float in it.
we could make one of our mounts larger and then have it jump us all across one by one. Because if we
I
made it
like
large
mine
and we
best.
gave it the jump ring, it could go back and forth quite easily.
He can fly.
I'm not sure any of them have the anatomy to wear a jump ring.
Well, then we could just grow. Oh, he's a ghost, isn't he? I don't think he can actually carry anything.
Who, Kipling?
Yeah. Is Kipling solid?
He's not incorporeal. He could be struck, for example.
Is he rideable?
Yeah,
I've thought about
he'd
it,
be at
but
half
he's not
speed
strong
because
enough.
he'd only be one size larger than you.
Mhm.
But I'd say he could float at half speed.
Okay.
I don't know. He's got
I
30
hope
foot
they
hover,
broke-
so he could do a 15-foot hover.
Yeah.
That certainly works for getting us across to wherever we need to. I think I'd like to investigate that metallic thing over there before we go trying to solve this puzzle any longer. Does that sound good to everyone? Have Kipling take us across one by one?
Yes, I want
Kipling? Kipling, my friend, my wonderful companion, will you do this for us?
He has his usual look of unenthusiasm, but he certainly has a desire to not be here. He's very aware that he will be released when his task is complete, so he's happy to do whatever he has to get this done.
Trying to. He's one of them 9 to 5 guys who's like,
Oh,
"Listen,
yeah.
I want to clock out."
to.
Like, man,
Let's just say he liked the idea of being dead and was upset that that was not in the cards for him.
It was pretty good being in that painting.
He's like, just non-existence really suited him.
I want to take a quick break, guys, to address the stream. There was a little bit of an echo. I apologize for that, and I fixed it. So,
Nice.
Right.
oh no was right. You always have the
Was that from Team
well-timed
Fortress 2?
audio
Where do you come up with these things?
bits.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything.
I feel like I would have the Team
Still trying to
Fortress
figure out
2
how to keep
announcer announce my entire life.
Keep my phone from turning off.
Dominating.
Yeah, so where were we? What would y'all?
We were going to
Kipling is
enlarge.
Thinking
now
about
twice as big, right?
Yeah, so you can either collect some in a file, administer it to him, or you can just drink straight out of the pool, if you'd prefer.
I will get a couple of files, and then I imagine we will just have Kipling drink straight from it.
Sure.
Just so I can-
Kipling
He's drinking.
is now a large
Oh,
floating
geez.
tiger.
So large.
Big tiger.
You're so terrifying.
Tiger. Tiger, burning bright.
Who's going first?
I'll probably go first due to the fact that I can probably withstand the most hits, and I know the most about mechanical things. So I feel this, in general, makes me the best to explore some form of unknown metallic, possibly monster.
Well, we all know who would win in a fight.
Damage and
Your
one
smite.
attack.
Your
One and
full
done.
spellcaster smite.
Fight me again, 1v1 IRL.
That'll be our Patreon stretch goal.
Yeah. Yeah, if you fund our Kickstarter, it's
That we don't have yet.
for our animated TV series.
We're gonna make a board game too.
Yeah, we are.
Called
Awesome.
Ouroboros.
Ukatoa.
Return to the path.
All right.
All right. So now that I'm a bit closer, I imagine Kipling's just going to be making a little.
Or perception. I'll accept. ITER.
I will invest.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
You can see this armor is its faceplate is open. You can tell it is an empty suit of armor, and it was designed by you. You have no doubt of this. This is a Karos Fair Star Circle RTM designed armor. It's slightly more advanced than the one you're wearing, of a little bit better quality.
See that it's an empty suit of armor. I'm gonna get closer and have a right good poke around.
Sure. And it responds to your touch. The helmet snaps shut, and the armor begins to rise.
Ah.
Rise,
Go ahead and roll
Lord
initiative.
Zeta.
Roll initiative!
No.
Let me clear this first.
Ah.
Rise,
Go ahead and roll
Lord
initiative.
Zeta.
Roll
Roll
initiative!
initiative. No.
Let me clear this first.